Hi, thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us, and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a CalCoast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at CalCoast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy, and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what CalCoast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
My ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Franck injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego Health System.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee. Welcome inside the Valley View Casino Center where the San Diego Sockers are getting set to face off against the El Paso Coyotes. Mark Serber alongside Nate Abarea. And Nate, if the Sockers can win tonight, they may be in the playoffs.
Well, they also need help tonight, and so far things not going their way in that department. The Ontario Fury just up the road, and the Inland Empire up 2-0 against the Tacoma Stars. The Sockers would need the Fury to lose tonight, and they would need for themselves to take care of business here against the El Paso Coyotes. They can, of course, only control one thing, and that's winning this match tonight.
The Sockers come in at 11-5 on top of the Pacific Division standings, facing off against an El Paso Coyotes side 0-15, still looking for their first win in franchise history. But Nate, the old cliche is the game's not played on paper.
The game's not played on paper, and you also can't win your first match in club history on paper. They're going to have to do it on the field. They can dream about it. They can think about it. One of these days, it's bound to happen. There is some talent out there. Rest assured, they've had some bad luck this season. They're new to this league. They're working on things, and who knows? It's bound to happen one of these times.
And this is the back end of a home-and-home between these sides. Played last week in El Paso. The Sockers coming up 10-4 winners. And so they're looking to do the same thing again today, but we talked to Phil Salvaggio before the game. He said, we went over the film. I know they only scored 4 goals, but we were not happy with the defending at all. They have very good individual players. We need to do much better on the defensive side of the ball tonight.
Yeah, Phil Salvaggio didn't shy away in terms of addressing that issue with his team. He was making it abundantly clear what his issues were with that game against El Paso. So look for the Sockers to respond to their coach this evening. Look for those age-old, important coach mind games to play with your own players from time to time. You got to psych them up. You got to let them know what you see is important. And right now, Phil Salvaggio is stressing the defense for this team. Look for a clean sheet, maybe even just 1 or 2 goals here this evening for El Paso.
We're going to step aside and honor our nation with the playing of the national anthem, and then we'll have the first half kickoff for you right after this. The San Diego State Pep Band with a beautiful rendition of our national anthem. San Diego State cheerleaders also in attendance tonight as the San Diego Sockers getting set for their third and final meeting of the season against the El Paso Coyotes. For the Sockers, just 4 games left, and this the penultimate game here at the Valley View Casino Center. Sockers will be heading on the road after this one to face off at Solis de Sonora on the 25th before coming here on just the next day to face off against Atletico Baja before finishing the season in what could be a battle between 1 and 2 against the Tacoma Stars for Pacific Division supremacy. But before they get there, they have to take care of business tonight against the El Paso side that is chomping at the bit to get their first win in franchise history. I talked to these San Diego Sockers players, Nate, and they said, you know what, they have very good individual players. We have to be at our best. And they said that after the Solis de Sonora game, they felt like even though they lost that game, that was validation that they are title contenders. And they're focused and they're locked in on the bigger picture. And so because of that, they're motivated to come out here tonight and not let their level drop.
You know, it's funny, that game against Solis on the road, that was, for anybody that didn't watch that game or hasn't seen the highlights of that game, that was one of the most spectacular regular season indoor soccer games that you're going to see. It felt like a playoff game. It really had that genuine playoff game feel. And, I mean, we make other sport comparisons all the time here at the MASL. We talk about other American sports leagues. That game felt like, remember the Warriors-Cavs game on Christmas Day where both teams came out of that game actually feeling mighty good about themselves, even though Cleveland got the win on the day. Had that feel the way the Soles won that out with that goal in overtime, winning by 1. But, man, the Sockers played one of the best games I've seen any team in the league play on that day, and they are definitely contenders when it comes to the title this season.
And so much of that validation came from the fact that they had played the night before, finished at about 10 o'clock, and then met at the border to walk over to fly to Sonora at 4 a.m. that morning to play at 7 o'clock that night. And so it just goes to show what these players have to go through in order to become champions. And speaking of rough schedules, the El Paso Coyotes starting a 3-game and 4-day stretch. They play tonight here in San Diego, go north to play against Turlock tomorrow night, and then come back south past the border on Sunday to face off against Atletico Baja. They did the same thing back from December 16th through 18th when they played 3 games in 3 days against Ontario and Turlock, and then finishing off against Atletico Baja as well. So it's going to be a tough stretch for this El Paso side, facing off against a San Diego Sockers team with title ambitions, but they have to get the job done here tonight. And a reminder that if Tacoma come back to win in Ontario, then the Sockers could have a playoff berth clinched by the end of this evening. San Diego will be in their all-black alternative kits with yellow socks. The El Paso Coyotes, white shirts, black shorts, black socks, will be attacking to your right to start things off. Want to say a hello to everybody who's tuning in from El Paso and around the world. Thank you so much for joining us tonight as we get ready for this game. And for those of you keeping tabs on the El Paso Coyotes, do not let the record deceive you. Jose Luis Trevino came in on January 1st, has had about just a little over a month with this team. The only thing Jose Luis Trevino has done over the last 2 years was take Monterrey and within a year build them into a title-winning side, and then go to Solis de Sonora and take them all the way to the finals where they were an overtime loss away from going to the mini-game. So that just goes to show you what coach they have and what a future this El Paso side has as well. But it's all about the present and them building their legacy, looking for their first ever franchise win, and how they would love to get it against the 14-time champions.
Absolutely. Spoken true as ever, Mark Serber. And this team, sometimes you don't want to go against a team like this. They're hungry. They got everything to play for their own pride. Of course, the Sockers are feeling rather confident this evening, but of course, the game ain't played on paper. We're off. We're underway.
As we are underway from the Valley View Casino Center, Matt Clare out there sporting a new haircut. Missed the game in El Paso last weekend through suspension, through blue cards. Eric Tovar missing out tonight for the exact same reason.
I thought we're never talking about haircuts ever again.
No, this is too good. Too good of a haircut
Claire's
to pass up.
got too good of a haircut to pass up.
He said it himself. It's a fresh new do. Asked Phil Salvaggio about it. He said, I love that about Matt Clare.
He loves his hair?
Loves the haircut. To go along with the 5 multi-goal games and the fact that most of the season he's been in the top 10 with assists, sure.
Well, helps as well to get on your coach's good side. That type of stuff is important, I'd say.
30 seconds in, El Paso has had the majority of possession. And this one won back by Frias. The captain shot flies over and then back into the middle, and that's a great save by Pardo, but the rebound is stabbed home by Frias.
Well, how about that start? The Sockers thought there was a foul here on the near side. There was a lot of physicality in the build-up there. Once the thing snuck back across, it just spilled back out and was destined to go in. And look at this. The El Paso Coyotes got themselves a 1-0 lead after just 43 seconds.
The 37-year-old has his 12th goal in 13 games, and El Paso has a shock 1-0 lead here at the Valley View Casino Center. And it's game on. Played forward, Reza continues his run. And is still fighting for it. Cerda thought it was going to go out of bounds. Shielded away by Garcia, but won back by LSO, but he's knocked off the ball. And this is a great start for the El Paso Coyotes. Gonzalez has it in the back. And Casillas has shaped out toward this near side where he'll get it. The 20-year-old had a sensational rookie season at Las Vegas last year.
That's a delightful ball over to the far side from the keeper.
It is everything that Phil Salvaggio had harped on in the tape, not letting the ball off the boards into the middle. And that's exactly what the Sockers gave up inside the first 45 seconds.
Maybe they just needed the band to start playing. We'll see what the San Diego State pep band does here for the Sockers.
This is Vidal, the new signing out of Veracruz in Mexico. He's also played at the likes of León and Pachuca and Liga MX. He left Veracruz, flew to El Paso, and called up Jose Luis Trevino the next day and said, hey, I want to play for you.
Love the story.
Farber in for LSO. Farber comes over in support. He continued his run, but LSO played it behind him.
These El Paso players and the urgency on defense.
That's good pressure, and Topete, who's seen action in his third game, is pressing up, and now it's a 2-on-0 the other way. The break is on here, and it's left off, and Pardo is able to poke it away. And this is Escoto flying forward. It's a 3-on-3. Escoto shows his skill. He wanted to have a go. And instead, he'll come back with it to the captain, Zé Roberto.
Fans already getting their money's worth. We haven't even played 3 minutes. What an incredible opening to this. Soccer's got to be considering themselves fortunate not be down 2 goals.
Childs to the other side, and that was a great shot by Gonzalez, and then looped over the keeper and acrobatically cleared. And Pardo is out.
Mark, this has already just got the feeling of one of those funky, funky nights here inside the Valley View Casino Center.
Second to last game at home for the San Diego Sockers. For the El Paso Coyotes, 4 of their final 5 games are on the road. Is this one knotted on for Claire from Childs. Rebound falls kindly for Escoto, trying to weave his way through. Back to Gonzalez. Flicks it back out wide. Played across. Childs is there, swing and a miss, and will go the other way through Frias. And that's well defended.
Very well defended there by Zé Roberto. What a crack from Matt Claire. I'm going to get a miles per hour check on that last rip from number 99. It was up near 99.
Tulute with his first action, and the shot sneaks by Casillas again. Claire, oh, that was a beautiful ball in, and I don't think Childs was expecting it.
I think Claire fooled everybody in the building with that. Unfortunately, that included Craig Childs.
Gonzalez to Claire.
The no look, the head fake on the entry pass into Childs. What a brilliant shift from Matt Claire.
Leaves it off for Queiroz, who had 2 assists in El Paso last weekend.
Brilliant
Tulute.
shift, but the team still down 1-0.
Still going to loot. Still going to loot. And finally taken off of his foot. And Salas will send it clear. Garcia just missed it. Bit of a homecoming for the Fresno native. Joined from the Las Vegas Legends. And here's his former teammate in Cerda. Gets it into the corner. Garcia, Reza matches him step for step.
Maybe a little bit of a stretch saying a guy from Fresno's having a homecoming in San Diego.
Yeah, it's the same state.
Maybe a geographical stretch there, Serber.
It's the same state. I knew it the minute I said it, but I thought I'd let it go.
You thought I'd let it go as well. Oh.
Bought down by El Vaquero. Cerda wants it at the back post. Instead, it comes to the middle. And this is Cerda. Had a hat trick in the last game against El Paso. In fact, all 4 of his goals this season have come against the Coyotes. And the 7th man make that, wants a foul, and they're going to get it.
Great atmosphere inside the building tonight. 7th man down there. You got the SDSU band and cheerleaders here. Deep Ed already in full song.
Quiroz, beautiful ball to the corner. And spot on was Hector Casillas to make the save.
I'll tell you what, long term in this game, Mark, that early goal from El Paso could serve to be a blessing for the Sockers team. Talk about the early energy there from Farber, my goodness.
Farmer climbing the ladder to get that one. Now he gets on the end of the clearance. Escoto looking back to Farber. He's dragged down, and this is going to be a blue card, and it will be a penalty shot as well. Brian Farber changing the game in an instant.
Unbelievable. A presence into this game for Farber.
But, you know, sometimes you need that veteran leadership to jolt you back into shape. And Childs saying, you know, it was inside the box. How is this not going to be a penalty shot or a shootout? Nevertheless, it's a power play for the San Diego Sockers. 12th in the MASL, 13 for 36 with the man advantage. Quiroz. Off for Childs. We're level.
Sockers just pressing the easy button.
As simple as that.
Childs slots it home. That was as cool as you'd like and far too easy. The Sockers with the early wake-up call. Back even at 1. Childs on the score sheet. Who else here in San Diego? 9:17 left in the first quarter.
Last week in El Paso, Craig Childs got his second 4-goal game of the season. He's off and running here for the San Diego Sockers, who are back on song with 9 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Shortest power play of the year there? You check with the stat
There's got to be a record. And there's Farber again causing trouble for the 20-year-old Casillas. Jose Roberto. And Topete checks in. And instead it's fizzed into the corner for Childs. Quiroz now with 3 assists in his last 2 games. Childs gets it back to Farber, who sends it wide. Here's Farber again. You know, we talk about veteran leadership, but Farber has the legs of a 22-year-old, the way he's buzzing around right now.
Farber heading to the bench now. Farber got absolutely nailed there 2 seconds ago. Contact seemed rather late, but
Claire. Childs' hold-up play. And we'll go the other way through the goal scorer, Frias. Casillas getting into a bit of trouble here. And pokes right back to Claire, who makes it 2-1 San Diego as he takes full advantage of the mistake in the back. Matt Claire back on the field, back on the score sheet. And the Sockers are in the lead for the first time tonight.
Childs with the first, Claire with the second. It's the familiar characters in the early portions of this drama for the San Diego Sockers. 8:08 left here in the first quarter. From 1-0 down to 2-1 up in a snap.
It's a clinical finish, too. Rasping drive from Claire into the corner one time. Casillas being put under pressure again by Talut. The Sockers wanted another foul, and it might work out here for Hernandez, who makes it 2-2. That's an absolute screamer. The Sockers not playing to the whistle, and this time they're the ones made to pay.
Hernandez with just a sensational rip with the left foot. I mean, that was play of the week status right there. Swinging volley, left foot, upper V, far post. You kidding me? What an equalizer. What an answer from the winless Coyotes. Staying in this game, 2-2 as we reach the halfway point in this first quarter.
We've hit the first media timeout, but Phil Salvaggio has to be irate. Both goals came because San Diego stopped because they thought there would be a foul. They are not playing to the referee's whistle.
You can be made to pay when you don't do that, when you don't play to the referee's whistle. However, take nothing away from that finish there. The second goal of the season for the El Paso native, Eric Hernandez. That was one of the cleanest volleys I've seen this season. And to do it swinging back with the left foot and go far post, upper corner with that one. That was just fantastic.
That is one of those shots where I feel like the moment it goes off your foot, you know it's going in and it's going to be a beauty. And it certainly was from Eric Hernandez.
It's one of those ones that gives you shivers. It's a little shiver when you see it.
You know, one of the great things that the president of this team, Gil Cantu, is doing is he wants this team not just to compete, but to give the best players in El Paso a chance to achieve their professional dreams. Well, you're seeing it right there with that effort from Eric Hernandez.
Absolutely. Again, his second goal of the year, and have a look at that volley. Certainly shouldn't be the last.
And this free kick is going to be for San Diego. No blue card, but another opportunity for the Sockers from the set piece, looking for an instant riposte here.
And the last time they had a set piece from close in, it's turned into an easy goal.
Quickly to Reza. Casillas got down well.
That time Casillas answering the call.
Cleared away by Rodriguez. And this is Reza. Defender looking for his first goal since that January 21st victory over Solis de Sonora. Reza moved this season from midfield to defense. I said at the beginning of the season he was really embracing the defensive side of things, and now he's looking to get forward a bit more. Oh, and almost getting his goalkeeper into trouble was Garcia, and still work to be done for this El Paso defense. Quiros. He steps into one, and it's tipped onto the post by Casillas.
Good hand there by Casillas. It was necessary.
Stared off the boards, and he's beaten to it by Claire.
Oh, how'd that one stay in?
And Quiros. Bulging forward, Quiros.
20 moments ago, that was the seventh man just willing that one to stay in bounds.
Oh, and they might catch El Paso on a change if they're quick here. And instead, Cerda pulls it back. So the Sockers hit the reset button with just under 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter. We are tied at 2 at the Valley View Casino Center between the San Diego Sockers and the El Paso Coyotes.
Tied at 2.
As Garcia heads it away.
Not the scoreline we expected early on in this game. Tell you what.
Frias gets it back to Garcia, who played under Jose Luis Trevino at both Monterrey and then last year at Solis de Sonora.
He's getting the band back together.
Jose Roberto. Dumped down the ice. And Frias not able to get inside of Topete. Farber looking to have another run. Escoto was dispossessed, thought he was fouled. Topete gets it across to Ziriberto. And the Brazilian has to go back with it. Mark Serber alongside Nate Abrea. Hope you're enjoying our coverage as we've got a good one here in San Diego. Sockers knotted at 2 with the Coyotes from El Paso. And the Sockers want to make changes, so they'll get it back to their keeper, Boris Pardo. He's playing his 7th game of the season. Childs left it off for Claire. Gets it to him almost at the second time of asking. Took a weird bounce off the boards. And that's neatly done from Ledesma to get it back to his keeper. And this one will go out of bounds, so it will remain with San Diego. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first. Inside for Claire, who made a great run, and he was almost found.
Love the movement off the ball there for Matt Claire. Good stuff. Bound to be on the end of one. And sometime soon, Claire has already got 1 goal this evening.
Zé Roberto muscled off the ball by Kuchui. And Childs comes back to win it for the Sockers. Oliveira has Claire streaking down the far side. Instead gets it off to Childs. Into the middle. And Ledesma will leave it off for his keeper. And this is going to be delay of game.
Took a strange bounce off the boards there. See, it's not really.
Well, they're going to say since it hit off the boards, it's just going to be a kick-in.
That makes a bit more sense.
Quiros. Across for Claire. That would have been something special.
Wow.
As Vidal plays it across.
That was the calmest get-up gesture I've ever seen from a referee right now.
Into the target, Garcia. Oh, and that's a great late run in. And it's Herrera who's battling for it. And Herrera will be whistled for the foul. Good work from the 20-year-old Herrera. Another El Paso native. And Pardo trying to catch El Paso on a change. El Vaquero. Space for Cerda. Cerda gets the return pass and just couldn't sneak it over to Escoto on the near side. Well, the Sockers starting to really establish possession here, but this El Paso defense has been very well structured.
And the gritty effort from this road team this evening. Given everything here in this first quarter. They're deadlocked.
Out of bounds off of El Vaquero. Plays a lot of defense, but has moved into midfield tonight in the absence of Eric Tovar. It's floated in for Frias. Quiros helps it on. Into the middle for Escoto. Has the beating of his man Escoto, and that's a great job to get back. And then it's going to be a blue card for the push. Well, Salas can't believe it. He had done so well to get back in front of Escoto, but then he's called for an elbow.
The entire Coyotes bench. And now, how about this? Now it's going to be a yellow to the captain. Unbelievable. Yellow to the captain for dissent.
So now Frias is going to have to sit for 5 minutes.
Oh, that's a huge loss. For Frias to get sent to the bench, sent to the bin, I beg your pardon, for 5 minutes. He was just irate. There were a number of other El Paso players who were as well. The Coyotes feeling real harshly done after that initial foul and blue card. It was a real tough break for the visitors. We'll leave it at that.
Second power play of the night for San Diego. Scored about 2 seconds into their first one. Bit further away from goal on the restart this time around. So Salas in the box. Officially 2 minutes for striking. Claire gets it back to Quiros. 40-year-old. Back to Claire. He has a go, and it stung the gloves of Casillas.
What a save.
And the Sockers do a great job to get that ball back, not allowing El Paso to keep it and burn time off this power play. 30 seconds gone, and the penalty to Salas. Quiros to Childs. Cerda. Inside for Oliveira, back to Quiros. Final minute, 10 seconds on the penalty to David Salas. Sockers working it around patiently, trying to slip it inside. Oliveira battling for it, still going Oliveira, and it comes out to Claire, and his shot is charged down. And the rebound right into the arms of the well-positioned Casillas.
It's almost like the Sockers have too much time down there on this power play. There's just no real sense of urgency. We'll see what they can get here in the second minute of it.
They've won it back through Cerda. 44 seconds remaining in the penalty. Claire. Cerda posted up on the left-hand side. Back to Quiros. Childs wants it in the center. 1 minute left in the first quarter. And the shot, Oliveira tips it in. It took a minute and 37 seconds on that power play, but San Diego finally breaks El Paso's house down. Oliveira makes it 3-2 San Diego. 2 of the goals on power plays.
Tough break for El Paso, Mark. The Sockers will absolutely take it. They got a 3-2 lead here. Oliveira gets the credit for it. Launches a souvenir ball into the Sockers faithful. 55 seconds left. 3-2 lead for the home side here in SD.
175th goal given up this season by El Paso, the league's worst defense.
It's just a real tough break there for Casillas. Not a whole lot he could do. Tough kind of bumbled it over in the end, but Oliveira standing right in front of him and getting a deflection on it. Real tough one for any goalkeeper.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter. Pardo over the three-quarters line, working his way towards half. Flights it into the corner, looking for Medina off the boards, almost gets there, and it's going to go in as an own goal. No, they're going to call a push. Oh, the Sockers thought they had extended their lead, but instead it's going to be a free kick or a goalie restart for Hector Casillas.
Wow.
Topete. Sescoro smartly back to his keeper. Final 10 seconds of the first quarter. Played forward, too far for Brian Farber, and that is how the first quarter will end. San Diego, with 2 power play goals, have a 3-2 lead after the first 15 minutes over the El Paso Coyotes.
Hi, thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us, and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a CalCoast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at CalCoast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy, and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what CalCoast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
Play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.
(3-2) at the first intermission. Mark Cerbo alongside Nate Abarea. Thoughts on the first quarter, Nate?
Well, the visitors from El Paso giving the Sockers all they could handle there in the first 15 minutes. The Sockers with a 3-2 lead after 15 minutes of play, but El Paso was very close to going up 2-0, and once they went down 2-1 after a quick blitz from Craig Childs and Matt Clare, El Paso tied the score right back up at 2 with a fabulous goal from number 22, Eric Hernandez. Sockers getting one back through Luan Oliveira there before the end of the first quarter to have what should be said is a worthy 3-2 lead, but think about that. Had a very fair scoreline after 15 minutes. And you compare these two teams' records this season, the 11-5 San Diego Sockers and the 0-15 El Paso Coyotes. El Paso gave a fantastic effort. Great performance there in that first quarter. Now we'll see if they could replicate it again.
And as we get the second quarter underway, El Paso head coach Jose Luis Trevino asked me to say saludos a su esposa Nilia Rivas. Thank you so much for tuning in. As San Diego will look to get things underway off the delay of game and see if they can strike first. I mean, how important was the play of Brian Farber, really sparking the Sockers back into life, as this time the shot is blocked by Antonio Garcia.
Farber was integral in that first quarter.
Claire, that would have gone out for a throw-in.
Pulled it just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Toulouse battling with the 36-year-old. Shows his soccer IQ by playing it off the boards. And this time Toulouse is whistled for the trip. Garcia not at all impressed. Remember, we're at even strength, but the captain, Daniel Frias, is still in the box due to a yellow card that he picked up toward the end of the first quarter. Casillas all the way past the halfway line. That's a lovely turn from Rodriguez. The tank barrels forward but puts his shot wide. Vidal thought about the shot. Gets it back from Rodriguez. Vidal has 3 assists in his first 2 games. 2 of them came against San Diego.
Oh,
As that's a great block from Toulouse, and he paid the price for it too.
my God.
Rodriguez, just 23 years old, but has already played for both Brownsville and Syracuse. And this is Rodriguez. Quiroz gets it across to Gonzalez. And played forward. Vaquero's all alone, and he slots it home. Eddie Velez makes it 4-2 with just his second goal since opening night. And he runs right over to Cowboy Salazar for his traditional goal celebration around the sombrero. Sockers with a 4-2 lead with 12 minutes and 54 seconds left in the first half. And it's El Vaquero who snuck behind the defense. Nobody tracked his run, and it was a beautiful ball over the top to look for him, but he still had it all to do. One touch to bring it down, another to fire it beyond Casillas into the far corner.
It's a show, ain't it? It's a darn good show.
The San Diego State pep band certainly adding to that. Wonder what we have to do to get San Diego State men's head coach Lev Kirshner out to a game.
We'll give Lev a call.
Played inside for Herrera. The 20-year-old can't catch it. Cerda pushes it by his man, but out of bounds. You can see Cerda getting forward at almost every opportunity in this game. And Frias is out of the box after serving his 5 minutes for a yellow card. Gonzalez gets it off to his keeper. Casillas beyond the halfway line, rolls it along the boards, was looking for Antonio Garcia, but it's picked off by Reza. Forward for Oliveira. And the high press is broken. Cerda with a 2-on-2 tried to slide it through. It was a good idea.
Just going to say, fantastic idea. Just couldn't thread the needle in the end of it.
Ledesma pushes it out wide. Casillas, it's not bad distribution. Marco Gonzalez fizzes it across. And there's space clipped in.
Oh!
That was a lovely turn and fire.
That was goal bound. You can see from this angle, that was goal bound. Had it not been blocked.
And now Cerda looking to run. It's going 2-on-3.
It's got to be a foul there on Cerda.
Bit too tactile for the referee's liking from Cesar Cerda. Well, the 23-year-old has really been given license to roam tonight by Phil Salvaggio. And Vaquero closes that one down. Soccer is 1 goal away from getting everybody in the stadium 5 free wings from Hooters. Luis Herrera gets it back to his keeper. Inside the final 11 minutes of the first half, San Diego with a 4-2 lead. Vidal gets it back to Casillas. Played forward, but over the head of Arturo Vega. And Quiros takes it off the foot of Topete. 40-year-old has played every single game since transferring at the beginning of last season from Milwaukee. And this is Pardo. 6 saves on 10 shots faced in the victory last week against El Paso, Boris Pardo. Medina. Medina's lingering at the back post. Oliveira finds some space, was looking to set the table, but it's well blocked by Arturo Vega, who wins the free kick. Second time Vega has drawn a foul in this second quarter. Oh, and Casillas getting himself into a little bit of trouble here. Can Farber take advantage? Works himself into the quarter. And that's great hold-up play from Anthony Medina. Cross for Escoto. Little touch on for Quiros. And Quiros will bring it all the way back as the Sockers get fresh bodies out onto the turf.
How many head fakes was that rolling backwards there from Quiros? I lost track.
I guess with no shot clock, you can do as many as you want. 9 minutes left in the first half.
Looks like when a video game character's broken, it's just kind of steadily moving backwards. Or like that old football game with the buzzer on it.
Hut.
But it's broken. It's moving backwards. There's nothing wrong with moving the ball around as a team backwards. You get to move the ball at any angle you want in this beautiful game. That was just an interesting moment there from Kiros. I don't know what exactly was going on. He was letting his mates come on the field. He was letting a fresh line come on.
Talute. Still going Talute. Gets past Casillas, who's out of the net. And Claire, he's invited to have a go. Gets a bit closer. Now he does. And that's a great block. And Claire came in with a very heavy challenge. And the blue card comes out, and rightly so, as the top of Claire's foot was showing.
They're saying that the studs were showing there. Claire thought he held him down.
El Paso's power play tied for 15th out of 17 teams with Florida. And Turlock is there 8 for 28 on the season. Well, the good news for the likes of Max Talute is they've given up a league worst 4 shorthanded goals.
Talute's a guy who loves the shorty, loves being able to break out.
Talute leads the league with 3 shorthanded goals himself. Soccer's penalty kill is 3rd in the MASL, just in front of KC and Sonora. So they've given up 7 goals on 28 kills. Salas pokes it out wide. Played over for Vidal, but headed away. Farber plays it downfield.
There you go, almost.
.40 seconds gone in the penalty to Matt Clare. Played inside, and that was a good look from Garcia, but it was well read by the Soccer's defense. And now they look to break. Farber's to the right. Left off for Farber, and he's going to smartly bring it back, and the Soccers will look to possess time off the clock. Minute gone, and the penalty to Matt Clare. And Farber will hold it again. I know there's still 7 minutes left in the second quarter, but for this game so far, Farber's been my MVP.
Ooh, tough call there.
Tough call on Garcia, the former Las Vegas legend. Soccers only have 3 out on the field. They have to wait to get a 4th on. Now Talute steps on. Watch out for him. 3 shorthanded goals on the season against the team that's given up 4. Talute checks in. Talute playing a dangerous game at the moment, but he uses the safety valve in his keeper. Now Talute charging at Casillas. Gets it forward for Ledesma. Over to Vidal. And Vidal was charged down by Gonzalez, and now Gonzalez comes away with it. Gonzalez slides by another, going one-on-one Gonzalez. And Gonzalez will bring it back to kill more time off this penalty. That is a clinic on how to kill a penalty by the San Diego Soccers. And now they have a 3-on-1. Oliveira, Matt Clare's all alone outside the box. Now Oliveira spots him, and Matt Clare goes from sitting to scoring. The Soccers have a 5-2 lead. Matt Clare now with his 6th multi-goal game of the season.
Agonizing stuff for the visiting Coyotes. Matt Clare sits for 2 minutes. The Soccers, as you say, Mark, put on a clinic in terms of power play killing. And then as soon as Clare comes out of the box, he gets on the end of some great build-up and slots it home from close range. 5-2 San Diego with 6:07 left here in the first half.
And Oliveira, I know he's from Brazil, but in Argentina, they call that la pausa, waiting till the perfect moment to slide that ball through, waiting for that player to be in perfect position before playing that ball. I thought the moment had passed. Oliveira knows better than I do. Gorgeous ball laid onto the feet of Clare, and an empty net finish for him with Casillas trying to scramble across his line.
This fabulous Argentine and Brazilian soccer knowledge there, Mark. First off, now the build up there from the Sockers was so patient, but it was so direct as well. It was that perfect balance to do that straight off the penalty kill. I mean, that's just such a tough break for El Paso to just get work like that on your own power play. And then as soon as the Sockers are back to even strength, and I mean, that couldn't have been more than 5 seconds of Claire being back on the pitch. And as you say, patient kill move, 5-2.
So we've hit the media timeout midway through the second quarter. San Diego with a 3-goal lead. Problem is Tacoma isn't doing the business for them. At halftime, Ontario has a 5-0 lead over the Stars. Now, Nate, we talked about this before the game. I said Tacoma needs to win, and the Sockers will get in the playoffs. And you said, yeah, but don't you want Tacoma to lose so that the Sockers have even a bigger advantage over the second-place team in the division? So you could look at it both ways.
You certainly could. There's good to come out of that game between Ontario and Tacoma. You could spin, you could play good cop, bad cop on it. All you want. I think the Sockers need to just take care of business here against El Paso. Make sure they do what they're supposed to do in this game, and that is get a W here at the Valley View Casino Center.
Talked to some of the players before the game about just that, and I said, how big would it be to clinch a playoff berth tonight? And they said, it doesn't matter at all because we need to get better and better and continue to just win games. So it doesn't matter. Wow, what a strike that was. And then the header off the rebound from Antonio Garcia. Almost 2 gorgeous goals from him. But getting back to it, they said, we just need to get better at every game, and we need to win every game. We can't worry about any of those kind of schematics. And the chance is on for Vaquero again. Great save by Casillas, who came off his line and made himself as big as possible.
Casillas, who may have been out of his box there. It was very close.
That's another giveaway, but the ball falls harmlessly into the arms of Casillas. That's great distribution from the 20-year-old.
Oh.
Now it's Escoto who's looking to run. Lovely move from Escoto. And good hold-up play from the young Mexican as well. Well, he says, I got the foul, but where's the blue card, sir? It's just going to be a trip on Arturo Vega. Escoto having a sensational sophomore season after a great rookie season with Atletico Baja. Joined San Diego this season alongside Eli Galbraith-Knapp, who's not in the lineup tonight. And he said he is one of the most talented players I've seen in a long time. As that is some last-ditch defending from Queiroz. Ooh. And Pardo off his line to clear. And now a blue card's going to come out. And who is it on? Is it going to be for that late slide from Queiroz as that ball was pushed forward?
I think it is.
So Queiroz will go to the box. Has 11 penalty minutes already this season. Well, if they're calling that, I thought that was a great tackle.
Tough break for Queiroz. Another power play for El Paso.
Farber, Zé Roberto, Cerda, and Oliveira on the penalty kill for the San Diego Sockers. This is Vidal. Picked up by Salas. Ledesma's pass was cut off, and he has to go all the way back to his keeper. 30 seconds gone on the penalty to Victor Queiroz. And the shot, Pardo wouldn't be beaten at his near post. And Cerda clears. Casillas out to mop up. That's a great ball from Frias. Bit of trouble dealing with it, though, and it will be the Sockers' ball. Quickly played, but too far for Oliveira. Gets it back. And Oliveira tried to lift it through for Childs. And that's one where you'd like to see him just go back with it and take more time off the penalties. There's 50 seconds remaining in the minor to Quiros. Slipped across into the corner. And that one sprayed over Pardo's goal. So it'll be a goalie restart. And Quiros has 40 more seconds in the sin bin. Soccer is now 7 for 29. Or I should say have allowed just 7 goals on 29 penalty kills. Frias battling in the corner. He's going to get it back. Rodriguez screaming for it. He can hit them from here, Rodriguez. Final 15 seconds of the power play for the El Paso Coyotes. Final 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the first half. Rodriguez, El Tanque slides it into the corner, and Pardo had to apply gloves.
Chaos.
Still might be something on here for Frias. And the penalty has been killed. Soccer is now 22 kills out of 30. And getting down again was Pardo. Off the boards for Quiros. And he said, no, Farber, you're not going off just yet. Now Farber gets to the bench. Quiros stays on. Childs wants it. Perfectly picked out Childs. What a goal that would have been. But Casillas foils the best laid plans of Victor Quiros and Craig Childs. And that's going to be a handball. Quickly played. And the ref says the ball was not completely stopped. Childs and Claire were chomping at the bit there off a quick restart.
They wanted it.
Instead
almost at it.
Come across to Escoto. Hernandez score that beautiful second goal for El Paso. Rodriguez, 23-year-old, barrels forward. He picks out Garcia in the corner. And Rodriguez has a go from distance. Bit ambitious. Final minute of the first half. San Diego has a 3-goal lead at 5-2. Will they look to get a fifth or sixth rather, or will they just try and run out the time of the clock? Almost your answer right there. Topete was muscled off the ball. Otherwise, he would have had a tap in. Zé Roberto charging forward. Claire tries to pick out the far corner.
And then Claire trying to pick out someone up in the stands. He picked out that guy in the blue jacket.
Somebody's got to get over there. There's only 2 seconds left as you only have 5 seconds to get the ball back in play.
Maybe it was all by design there. Maybe I'm giving too much credit.
Esquivel knocked off. Final 20 seconds. Claire, they're pouring forward here. Race off the boards. 10 seconds. San Diego looking for one last opportunity. Oliveira unloads and pushed away by Casillas. 5 seconds. 4. Claire turns. He could have shot that. Zé Roberto will. And Casillas with a flurry of saves to end the first half and keep the deficit at 5-2 for El Paso. We're going to take a break, but we'll be back with you as there's plenty to come at halftime. It's San Diego 5, El Paso 2.
Hi, thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us, and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
The space is open up for Lee.
Oh, Toth with the face.
He'll take him any way he can. And Waltman loses the handle. Childs, Waltman still out of the arc. Escoto across to Childs, real level. Waltman made to pay for being a bit too lackadaisical.
Waltman made to pay there, but the Sockers still had a whole heck of a lot of work to do, and that was brilliantly worked in the end of it. Oh, so patient, no panic from either man there, and Craig Childs slots it home, roofs it with the left foot. Magnificent stuff for San Diego.
Farber looking to chase it down, turns on the Jets. And Waltman almost gave it away again. In fact, he has. Farber slips it through Waltman's leg, and in a blink of the eye, from 1-0 down to 2-1 up, San Diego have the lead.
Waltman, you gotta say, to take a lot of the blame on this one as well. He's gifted the Sockers a couple of major opportunities. Who that was down there? It was Trevor Jensen.
Waltman in a little bit of trouble once again. The net is open, and the Sockers have a 3-1 lead.
Unbelievable, Mark. Unbelievable.
In this game with San Diego, I get higher and higher up the field in each game. It's Claire who's forward here to the back post, and the Sockers perhaps being a bit too unselfish in this third quarter. Now Claire takes it himself, and that time it's the right decision. Take a bow, Matt Claire. San Diego leads 4-1 with just under 22 seconds left in the third.
How about you now, Matt Claire? What a rip, buddy.
Played across for Velez. Took himself out wide, otherwise I think he would have had to go. That's a beautiful ball across though, and the Sockers extend their lead to 5-1. It's Eric Tovar with the tip-in.
Playing with house money on the road, shall we say.
Touloute's played in. Still going Touloute, lays it off for Medina. Gorgeous team goal from the San Diego Sockers. Touloute so unselfish, Medina the beneficiary.
I love the Sockers players. Half of them going to Medina, half of them going to Touloute, and everyone meets for the group hug. Beautiful team goal for San Diego. Touloute, again, the distributor. He's got to take a lot of credit for that notch on the score sheet for the Sockers.
One back by Velez. Velez looked up and saw Waltman off his line. Instead, gets it to Claire, to the back post. Oh, Claire doesn't need it to the back post. He puts it in himself. 2 goals for Matt Claire, and it's 7-1 San Diego. The onslaught continues at the Valley View Casino Center.
Call that the good old-fashioned push shot. If it ends up at the feet of Tovar, you say you were passing. If it goes in, you say you were shooting. Matt Claire puts it to the far post. You put it to the far post and good things happen. Ooh.
Gonzalez, Touloute, 8-2. Matt Claire returns the favor from Max Touloute, who prods home at the back post.
Touloute has been Mr. Distribution this evening. He finally gets a chance to get on the end of one himself, and he makes no mistake about it. Beautiful finish from inside the area, right underneath Danny Waltman. Nothing number 24 could do. What a night for Max Touloute. Talk about total football.
Floor. Touloute comes out with it. Waltman's at midfield. Touloute puts it by him and into the net. It's the icing on the cake for the San Diego Sockers, who are going to run out of the Valley View Casino Center with a 9-3 victory. And if anybody deserves to put the cherry on top of this one, it's Max Touloute.
What a night for the team. What a night for number 4. Call him the Haitian sensation. Call him Superman. He's been extraordinary this evening.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a Cal Coast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at Cal Coast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy, and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what Cal Coast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors,
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
a good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.
We are getting set for the second half between the San Diego Sockers and El Paso Coyotes. 5-2 lead for the home side, but Nate, it wasn't the best start for San Diego. A bit shaky, to say the least.
Well, it wasn't smooth sailing by any means in that first half for the Sockers. Did have a 2-0 output in that second quarter, but visitors from El Paso taking a 1-0 lead. Sockers making it 2-1. El Paso tying it back up at 2. 3 straight for the Sockers since then, but talking about a team that has an 0-15 record to their names, and they didn't look like an 0-15 team in that first half. It's only a matter of time before this team gets their first win in franchise history. You were wondering, you were raising an eyebrow or two after those first few minutes. The Sockers woke up. They got the wake-up call. Proceeded to improve things quite a bit. I'm sure Phil Salvaggio had some pointed words in the dressing room during that halftime break. We'll see how the Sockers respond. They need to come out and dominate the second half. They need to hop in straight into cruise control. They need to take this thing to the finish.
And Phil Salvaggio talking about this El Paso side. This is a good team that is getting better and better every week. They have 5 games left. And I told him, I said, 4 of them are on the road, 3 of them in 4 days. He said, trust me, they will get wins this season. So that's how good Phil Salvaggio believes this El Paso team is. And right now, they are giving the Sockers everything to handle, but the home side does have a 5-2 lead as we are getting ready for the final 30 minutes from the Valley View Casino Center. What is the second to last home game of the regular season for the San Diego Sockers, looking to keep this place a fortress as they are 7-1 at home so far this season, part of their 11-5 overall record. And the other game that we're keeping an eye on, Nate, is Ontario versus Tacoma, because if the Sockers win and Tacoma wins, then the Sockers will clinch a playoff berth. They were losing 5-0 at halftime. They have since come back, and now heading into the final 15 minutes, it's 5-3.
Come back. If you're looking for playoff clinch for the San Diego Sockers, you're rooting Tacoma on. The comeback is underway up there in Ontario for the visiting team in that game, coming down from the Pacific Northwest.
Speaking of underway, that's exactly what we are back to here at the Valley View Casino Center, as it's El Paso to get the second half started. Childs battling for it into the corner. Pardo pokes it away. Lovely footwork to get it out by Gonzalez. And this is the captain. Childs has Farber pouring in front of him. Played to the back post, a great delayed run, but that was good defense as well. And El Paso overtakes. Zé Roberto gets in front of Frias and does well to keep his positioning. Sockers wanted a foul as Farber was dumped in the box. And a good spin by Rodriguez to keep possession for El Paso. And the shot took a deflection off Zé Roberto. And if he gets credit for that, then that's his 14th block of the season. He's just 2 away from equaling last year's total. Free kick for Marco Vidal. The 30-year-old out of Dallas, Texas, looking for his first goal in a Coyotes jersey. Hits it off the boards, and nobody's there for the rebound. 1 minute gone in the third quarter. 5-2 as the slightest of love taps from Brandon Escoto is called for a foul. Well, that's what the deep end thinks about it, as boos are ringing around the Valley View Casino Center. Vidal. Stolen away by Escoto, working 1-on-2. And he elects for possession first. Reza has already played 4 more games this season than he did all of last season. A year in which he was fed up with foot trouble. Phil Salvaggio said Reza's having really a breakout year because he's surpassed that 40 game mark that you really need to be completely comfortable in indoor soccer. Talute looking to run, and that's textbook one-on-one defending, and with Pardo off his line, it wasn't a bad idea, but it's over his goal. Good distribution to Reza. Steps inside of one. He's invited to have a go, and he scores. 6-2 San Diego. Reza was left all alone, and he took full advantage.
Mark, it was the movement off the ball that helped out there. It's immediately what Reza recognized. I love this. Reza looking right up to Matt Clare, Tough to see who was the other run down there on the left side, but Reza immediately looked at Claire, saying, hey, way to space that thing out for me.
I believe Pardo should get an assist on that.
No, it was Pardo, and then you see, love that on the celebration. Reza saying, hey, way to make a run. It's amazing. We've talked about it so many times this season. I don't care if you're in the arena or out on the big field, 11v11. Runs like that open up space. As the guy is running at the point there with a chance to dish one off. Sometimes the run opens up the shot. Movement off the ball can do wonders in so many different ways. It did so there. And no mistake in the end of it with the finish from Reza.
Sixth goal of the season for Ray Reza, a 27-year-old out of San Diego State, being serenaded by his alma mater's pep band as he gives the Sockers a 4-goal lead. 2 minutes and 30 seconds gone in this third quarter. The Sockers looking to go forward again. Cerda, he's been working feverishly off the ball tonight. That should have been a handball on Arturo Vega. But advantage is played as the Sockers keep possession.
Only a few hundred people right in front of it thought it was a handball.
Childs skips by one and is brought down, and that's going to be the third power play of the game for the San Diego Sockers, who are 2 for 2 on the evening.
Talked about the Sockers getting into cruise control. You kind of feel it coming here.
Can they remain perfect on the power play? Penalty to Marco Gonzalez is underway. Played across for Claire. Well, that would have been the way to get your hat trick. Hector Casillas waits for all 4 seconds before throwing that ball downfield. "30 seconds of the power play gone for the San Diego Sockers as Quiroz casually brings it up the field. Slides it inside. Childs, fourth in the MASL in power play goals, gets another, and the Sockers have a 7-2 lead, 3 for 3 on the night with the man advantage.
That's the sweet spot for Childs. Saw him score from almost the exact same spot on the field to tie the score at 1 back in the first quarter. Turning back with the side of that right foot of his. Nothing new for number 37, 7-2. Now the score in favor of the home team here in SD with 11:33 left in the third quarter.
7 power play goals on the season for Craig Childs to go with his 32 overall. Now just 20 points away from having his 6th straight season of 60 or more points, Craig Childs.
I got a feeling he's going to get there.
Well, it's another San Diego State alumni who will appreciate the pep band playing in his honor.
I was doing a story for SoccerNation.com earlier in this week and had no idea. Was really digging deep into the SDSU archives and talk about Craig Childs' tenure there, the seasons he put in for San Diego State University. There's a lot of great soccer players who've walked through those doors. Craig Childs, when you talk to the alumni over there with the Aztecs, he's right up there with any of them in terms of what he put in at SDSU.
Farber, the recipient of a barge in the back, but the free kick's going to go the other way.
Encourage everybody to check out that story, by the way. Again, I'm not sure who wrote it.
I'm sure you tweeted it out. What's your Twitter handle?
The Twitter is at Nate Abaurea. You can also get the retweet from Craig Childs' Twitter as well.
And also, if you're having any issues with the broadcast or anything that you don't like, please tweet at Nate Abarea.
At Nate Abarea, that's right. All complaints, please direct them at me. I'm in charge of everything. If anything goes wrong, it's my fault.
Tacoma have pulled one back, so it's 5-4 now. Clara brings it up the floor. Leaves it off for Childs, who's on a hat trick. Reza. Reza's created space for himself. This time clipped it wide. Still up in the offensive end, Reza. Little touch on for Talut, who hasn't really featured tonight. And now he has to sprint back. This is Frias, who opened the scoring just 43 seconds into the ball game. And that's a good turn, but the shot squirts wide, but it's headed in. El Paso has pulled one back. Oh, that's a great job off the rebound from Ledesma.
Ledesma is getting into a good spot there. Good things happen when you get yourself into the danger area. El Paso getting one back with 9:25 left here in the third quarter.
The Guadalajara native turned 27 on Tuesday, and that's a nice birthday present for him.
Absolutely.
It was served up to him, but he still had it all to do. Took it himself, heading it back across the face of Boris Pardo. And there's life yet in these Coyotes. I'll tell you, Nate, another score at last check. Solis de Sonor in the fourth quarter, 18-2 over the Dallas Sidekicks.
18! 18!
Ledesma puts it into the corner. Played off the boards by Antonio Garcia. And cleared away by Quiros. Omar Ledesma with the back heel for Garcia. Back to Casillas. Over the head of the other Garcia. And the break could be on here for San Diego. Laid off for Oliveira. Brings it down, looking to run. Skips by one and pulled it wide of the far post. Cerda. 7 minutes gone in the third quarter. San Diego has a 7-3 lead as Topete gets it off to Zé Roberto. From one captain to another. Childs leaves it off for Escoto. He loves to run. Topete off the boards. Zé Roberto. Cerda. Had a hat trick last week against the Coyotes, but has been kept quiet tonight. He gets by Herrera. Fights off another for Childs. Back post. Tic-tac-toe. And it's another blow to the point of the jaw for the El Paso Coyotes. Childs with the assist. And Escoto, the man who started it, finishes it at the back post.
Tic-tac-toe indeed. Goal at one end. Sockers come right back with another. 7:37 left.
And at this timeout, Jose Luis Trevino and his staff are irate. They were plenty of arm jabbing and histrionics towards the referees right there. Not sure what it was. There were a couple collisions in that box as the ball came across, and it was an easy tap-in for Escoto.
Histrionics indeed. Whole lot of histrionics. Some gesticulation.
That's the word I was looking for.
You know what's funny? I remember, I think it was like junior year of high school in the vocab class. and histrionics and gesticulation were in the same lesson. So always associate those words. Shout out to Miss Kopecki at Watsonville High School, Watsonville, California. Great vocab class. Clearly, it worked. It stuck. But seriously, they were incensed. They were irate. I don't know what they were all too mad about because I haven't seen them that animated this entire game. Came storming off the bench, the entire coaching staff and a couple of players to boot. We're going straight at the officials during that timeout, and you see the officials gathering right now to a brief conversation. Curious as to what the actual issue was there.
Well, San Diego's restored their 5-goal lead. Brendan Escoto now with 12 goals on the season. Craig Childs, 2 goals and 1 assist. A break in play here, but now we're back underway from the Valley View Casino Center. You thought that maybe Childs would go for his hat trick there, but the captain, so unselfish, seeing that Escoto rather, had the much higher percentage tap in at the back post.
Childs on a hat trick.
Would have said all 3 of his goals were scored in the exact same manner, hooking it into that near post from that spot. But that's the threat of Childs. You never know whether he's going to shoot with such a short back lift or play a pass like that hardly anyone in the arena but him sees. Queiroz plays it down the near side boards. Eddie Velez gets it back into midfield. Escoto with a little touch for Queiroz. San Diego continues to rotate the ball around. And chopped into the corner for Escoto. Well, that was good defending in the far side from the El Paso Coyotes. Great strength on the shield, and they get a free kick out of it. Casillas being hounded by Escoto. Forces him to play it all the way down. And the Sockers can catch the Coyotes on another bad line change. Farber darts inside, still going Farber. Brian Farber foiled by Hector Casillas. Off for Reza. Reza inside for Farber. Reza has a little bit of space. Well, that's a one-on-one going the other way. Talut shows his speed, and Frias pulls it wide. Queiroz, look at that calmness under pressure. Plays the perfect pass. And that one was almost perfectly weighted for Claire. Great vision from Reza. Just a bit too much weight on that ball. Final 5 minutes and 30 seconds of the third quarter. Oh, and that is a hard foul. Oliveira's going to get the free kick. And the blue card comes out from the referee on the far side, not the one on the near.
Wow. Wow.
So that foul happened right in front of the bench, and the blue card came all the way from the scorer's table.
Well, okay then.
Well, the Sockers back on the power play where they're 3 for 3 tonight. So I think it's Salas back to the box for the second time this evening. Queiroz slips it inside, gets it right back from Childs. He finds Cerda. Queiroz picks out Childs again. Claire, another player on a hat trick. He has his pocket picked. Quiros wins it back off the volley, flying save from Casillas, and the rebound hammered wide. Childs again. Rodriguez barrels his way through. Cerda steps in to win it back for the Sockers. Thought he was fouled there, but instead it's Arturo Vega to go the other way for the El Paso Coyotes. And Claire stepped into the passing lane. And the Sockers will hit the reset button with 1 minute left on the power play. Looking to stay perfect with the man advantage. Claire plays catch with Quiros. Inside for Childs. Leaves it off for Cerda. Back to Childs. Toe pokes it wide. Apologies, Oliveira in the center there. .30 seconds left in the penalty to David Salas. Into the middle for Oliveira. Tried to poke it out wide. Now El Paso still having trouble clearing their lines. And the Sockers will go at him again with 15 seconds left. Childs unloads, and the block comes in from Eric Hernandez. 10 seconds left on the power play. Quiros forward again. Childs standing right in front of Casillas, looking for the tip-in from Childs. Childs still with it. And Casillas will calmly pick up, and the penalty is killed.
First unsuccessful power play of the night for the Sockers.
Oliveira, who drew that last penalty, loses out here. Salas out of the box, almost scores. Rodriguez, back to Salas. Nifty footwork from Rodriguez. As well from Salas. That would have been a beautiful goal. And then the block from El Vaquero.
Beautiful stuff from Salas there. My goodness. A lot of lovely football being played by El Paso all of a sudden.
You can tell that these El Paso players have a very high soccer IQ.
Good base skill set, and hopefully this team can come together. Get just something before the end of the season, just not tonight if you're a Sockers fan.
It's really just about learning the ins and out of the indoor game, and with Jose Luis Trevino, they have the perfect coach to teach them that. He said, obviously, we want to win our remaining games, but we're really building towards next season. And he said, don't worry about the record. What I tell these players is, don't worry about the record. It's what we do in the future. And when El Paso has a winning team and a historic franchise, people are going to say, oh, you know what? Marco Vidal, I remember him from that first team. It's about building your legacy.
Absolutely. I see a lot of potential with this team.
Final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Sockers have a comfortable 5-goal lead at 8-3. But, Nate, we know how quickly that can vanish in indoor soccer.
The MASL special. Sockers need to keep the clamps on this game. Maybe get another goal here before the end of the quarter.
After tonight, the Sockers have 9 days off before they have another doubleheader that involves traveling to Solis de Sonora. And then they'll be on the 25th, and then they'll be right back here on the 26th for their home regular season finale against Atletico Baja before the final game of the regular season up in Tacoma on March 4th. For this El Paso side, 4 of their final 5 games on the road, starting with 3 games in California and Mexico in 4 days. As they play here tonight, go north to Turlock tomorrow, and then all the way back down south on Sunday to face off against Atletico Baja. Grueling stretch, these El Paso Coyotes. Final minute of the third quarter. Ooh. And Hernandez taken down. The referee says it's a fair challenge, and now they'll come in and call it a very late whistle. Go back to the first quarter. That beauty that Hernandez ripped home to give El Paso a 2-1 lead. This is Vidal, and that's good defending from Zé Roberto. Inside for Ledesma. Being taken out wide. Karam's off the boards. Pardo clears. Heading into the final 30 seconds of the third quarter, as Villarreal will guide it back to his keeper. Intercepted in the midfield. Poked on for Claire. 3-on-1. Claire needs to get it off his foot. No, he'll take it himself. This is Topete. And he's a bit too casual with it. This is a good run. But running out of time for a final attack is El Paso. And heading into the final 15 minutes, it is San Diego 8, El Paso 3.
Hi, thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us, and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a Cal Coast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at Cal Coast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy, and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what Cal Coast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.
Getting set for the final 15 minutes of regulation from the Valley View Casino Center. The San Diego Sockers with an 8-3 lead over the El Paso Coyotes. Mark Serber alongside Nate Aberea. Nate, is there anything that this El Paso side can exploit from the Sockers and work their way back into this match in the final 15 minutes?
You know, you don't want to see a team play hero ball all too much, what they call it, really on the basketball court, on the ice hockey rink, and here at indoor soccer. You always hear that term, playing hero ball, kind of getting a little bit too individualistic. But I'll tell you what, I mean, the Coyotes need to play as a team, but at the same time, when they're at their best is when individuals can show their flair. And we've actually seen that at times here this evening, and especially that goal from Eric Hernandez back in the first quarter. So I actually think this is a rare occasion where I'll say this, where getting a little bit more isolation going when they're in the attacking third could be something that could be a blessing for El Paso if they are to sneak their way back into this game. Let their individuals shine and be artistic, be creative out there on the soccer field.
And all three of El Paso's goals have been beauties.
Absolutely. Well, the opener was a tap-in from about a foot out, but the second two, indeed, absolute beauties. I mean, if you're into the whole tap-in thing, you know.
They all count the same.
If you're into the whole modesty thing.
San Diego, what do they need to do to run away with this in these final 15 minutes?
Just keep doing what they're doing. Keep doing what they're doing. Matt Clare and Craig Childs have led the charge here this evening. Nice little fourth quarter blitz from those two as we see them link up straight off the kickoff. Work wonders.
And that took a weird ricochet off the board, so it's going to be a goalie restart for Hector Casillas. San Diego looking to go 12-5 on the season, heading into their 9-day break. And Ontario ended up hanging on to win 7-5 against Tacoma. So still all to play for in the Pacific Division. And the Sockers, even with this win, will not clinch tonight. But, you know, that might be good. You don't want to get complacent at the end of the season knowing that your spot is safe. So San Diego side that's come in, had a rough start, but has since taken care of business. So technical and fluid on the ball. A lot of experts around the MASL have said that this is the best San Diego team that they've seen in 4 years. Well, San Diego looking to get back to the playoffs, want so much more as their last 3 seasons have ended in the Pacific Division Final. That's lovely interplay, but Childs can't finish it off. That's good hold-up play from Omar Ledesma. The San Diego Sockers looking for another shutout quarter. The second best defense in the Major Arena Soccer League behind the Baltimore Blast, who had come into tonight only giving up 50 goals. Compared to the 77 that the Sockers have now given up. Might be 78. A bit too fancy from Garcia. Reza pushes it by his chaser. Continues his run, Reza. Instead, it's to Zé Roberto. Zé Roberto wins it back. Looking to turn provider. Might have tried to take that shot, even though it was from a tight angle. And once again, spotting Pardo off his line, but a bit too ambitious. And it'll be a kick-in for the Sockers.
We'll leave it at that.
And it's 8-3 now, but when the San Diego Sockers were struggling, it was Brian Farber who came out and was the catalyst for the turnaround. I mean, the 34-year-old just means so much to this team.
Again, 34-year-old, but the energy of a 21-year-old out there. What he did coming into this game, it was a lackadaisical, slow, kind of sluggish start. Look at Farber go again here.
And Farber's the kind of guy who thinks about everything, as we'll get back to that in a second, as this is Esquivel. 24-year-old takes himself in the corner. Was a lovely move to split the double team, and he was able to play it off the boards. And still going is Esquivel. He'll leave it off. It's a good period of sustained possession from El Paso. And talk about Brian Farber. When he was playing a couple years ago for what is now Orange County Soccer Club, then the Los Angeles Blues, he was playing left wing, and his defender was a rookie named Brian Burke. And so he invited him out all the time to hang out with him because he said, you know, the better friends we become off the field, the more we'll gel on it. He's the kind of guy who loves to be the team, the glue that brings the team together and form that chemistry off the field that he feels translates to open play.
Absolutely, and talk about the leadership. It is an on-field and off-field thing for a guy like that, and everything he brings on the field, he just leads by example.
When you talk about that off the field, coming on the field, a lot of players are saying, you know, this is the most fun we've had together as a team, and it's certainly showing in the way that they've played this season.
You can see that there's been an added effort to make sure that cohesion exists on and off the field. And guys are obviously going to have fun when you're having a good season, but if they know each other and their mates off the pitch, it can be big.
And this is Kuchui.
You want to play with people you like.
Yeah, you kind of want to broadcast with people you like too, but you can't really pick that sometimes.
You can't pick that. Sometimes you get stuck with people on the microphone. You got to just act professional,
Make
act
the best
like
of it.
your friends,
Yeah.
you know. Occasionally pose for a photo to make people think that you get along with the other guy on the mic. It's all a big game.
Fake it till you make it. This is Toulouse. 10.5 minutes remaining from the Valley View Casino Center. Toulouse blows by his man to the back post, and it's a tap-in. It's going to be Anthony Medina with his first goal in 3 games, but that was all the work of Max Toulouse. Sockers are 1 away from double digits. How many times tonight have we seen the Sockers throw that ball towards the net and look for the redirect?
Far post, low and hard, far post, good things happen.
Goal number 92 in 133 appearances for Anthony Medina. The legend continues to write his name into the books of the San Diego Sockers. 7 goals now on the season for the 37-year-old Medina. And you can talk about it being a tap-in, but great forwards put themselves into the right positions. Frias looking for the instant reply, and getting down well at his near post was Pardo. Oh, it's another giveaway. Oh, there's Frias being dumped in the corner. Oliveira can't believe it. Can the Coyotes find their 4th goal? They've been good when they've gotten the ball into this area, as played off the boards, and well stationed is Felipe Gonzalez, who rolls it to safety. Claire chasing. Sixth multi-goal game of the season for Matt Clare. 12th of the year for Craig Childs, both of them on 2 goals. So that was a perfectly weighted pass to Frias, but nobody making the run to the back post. And now the Sockers will get a free kick. I'll tell you, that was a perfectly cushioned header. Felipe Gonzalez. The number 45 of the of the El Paso Coyotes, another former Las Vegas legend in Bronil Kuchui, has played all over the MASL, also played outdoors in his native Iran and Thailand, so a really decorated player. He scored 2 of the 4 goals when these two teams met last week. Kuchui's featured with the likes of Las Vegas, Turlock, Dallas, and Ontario before coming over to El Paso, so the Sockers know him well. Iran has such a rich soccer culture with teams like Esteghlal and Saipa. And of course, plenty of success in World Cups as well.
Beat the USA back in 1998 in France. That was the game that did the U.S. in. It was one of the cruelest games, actually, in U.S. men's national team World Cup history. Iran came out victorious 2-1 on that day, the game that pretty much eliminated the U.S. from that 1998 tournament. Second group stage game.
This is Casillas venturing out of his goal. Marco Gonzalez gets it back to Casillas. 7 minutes, 45 seconds left. Result all but confirmed at the Valley View Casino Center. 9-3, San Diego have the lead, and they're pressing for a 10th. Scored in double digits in their earlier 2 games against this El Paso Coyotes side. And that's good skill from David Salas. Salas celebrated his 35th birthday yesterday. Celebrated it by taking a long road trip from El Paso to San Diego, as we have a whistle here. And what's the call going to be? A blue card is out. And I believe El Paso is going to go on the power play. Well, no. Well, the blue... All right, I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what's going on at the moment. The blue card was out.
You've seen the movie E.T., Mark, right?
Long time ago.
Long time ago. You remember young Drew Barrymore in that movie, the adorable little girl when she goes, "What's happening?"
Pretty much. That's what's going on in my head right now. It's Matt Clare who's walking to the penalties box and hands out as to say, "What did I do?"
Well, this is where I, as the color commentator, I'm supposed to come in and save you here, and I'm just gonna let you paddle through the water on your own in circles.
It's all right. I usually am paddling when I'm on air.
Okay, we can tell you that El Paso is on the power play now. Yes, indeed. It is official.
Beautiful ball movement, and Pardo called into action at his near post.
We try to have all the answers here. We try.
Pardo doing an excellent job in the absence of Chris Toth, who's with the Beach National Soccer Team, and a shorthanded opportunity could be on for Farber. And the deflection took the sting out of the shot.
You know, we talk all about the potential foot race between Max Toulouse and Farber. I want to know who Coach Phil Salvaggio would say is a more dangerous weapon on a penalty kill. You know, who's that guy that you want out there for those shorthanded breakaways? They're both pretty darn good at it.
Well, I mean, purely stats speaking, it's Toulouse who has the lead with 3 shorthanded goals, but Farber's missed a few games through injury this season. Sockers playing that diamond high. As Farber leading the point. Reza did a great job to get over and not allow Garcia to play it across, and the ball ends up into the hands of Boris Pardo. 35 seconds left on what we'll call a mystery penalty to Matt Clare. And Clare missed the El Paso match last weekend through suspension for having 6 points on all the blue cards he received, as this shot is over. And there's a timeout on the floor. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. All San Diego, 9-3 over El Paso. When we come back, they'll have 20 seconds left on the penalty to Matt Clare.
Holding.
Just got word from our stats master, Duarte Andrade, that it was holding on Matt Clare.
Holding like this, Mark. Holding. He had him right there, had him on the shirt.
San Diego looking to go to 12-5 on the season, remain on top of the Pacific Division, heading into the final 3 games of 2016-2017 with the playoffs on the horizon. Looking to seal top spot in the Pacific Division and get home field advantage. Tacoma and now Ontario hot on their heels. 20 seconds left on the holding penalty to Matt Clare. Gonzalez will bring it forward for the El Paso Coyotes. Up to Ledesma. Being policed by Farber. Two number 7s going head-to-head. Gonzalez joins the party, continued his run, but the pass cut off by Oliveira. Clare back out of the box for the second time tonight. Unlike the first time, he's not going to score right off of it. So El Paso maintained possession in the offensive end. Inside for Esquivel, who was all alone at the top of the arc, but shoots right into the arms of Boris Pardo. Forward for Childs. Falls kindly for Clare. Back to Childs. Almost the hat trick for the captain. And then smartly headed back to his keeper by Gonzalez. Ledesma spins in midfield.
Oh.
Forward again. Well, Phil Salvaggio is going to go back to the videotape and not be happy with these El Paso players being able to settle the ball in the box. But it's Clare going the other way. It's a 3-on-3. Clare looking to create a bit of space. He has. And raise a shot. Blocked.
Oh, no.
And that was very, very painful. And right away, Paul Savage flies out onto the field.
See who that was down there. I think it was Antino Esquivel. Took that right to the side of the head, and you saw him holding his ear.
You talk about the commitment of these players. Esquivel showing it there. The 24-year-old playing his 7th game of the season for the Coyotes. You do not want to be in front of one of those shots. The good news is that Esquivel is up. And he's being applauded by both the Sockers and the Coyotes. And so we're going to have a timeout on the floor as both teams heading back to their respective benches. 4 minutes and 7 seconds left in the final meeting between the San Diego Sockers and the El Paso Coyotes in the 2016-2017 season. San Diego looking for their 10th goal of the game. And Boris Pardo has had an excellent night in between the pipes for the San Diego Sockers.
It's had a clean night. Real clean night for Boris Pardo. And Mark, I think we have a special guest here on the broadcast.
Yeah, we're about to be joined by General Manager Sean Bowers.
Hi guys, how's everybody?
Oh, we're doing great. 9-3 lead for the San Diego Sockers. What are your thoughts on the game so far?
I think we started slow. But once we got into the game a little bit, it was, obviously taking advantage. We're the type of team that's going to score 8, 9, 10 goals a game, and we've been working very hard on our defensive side of the ball. And wasn't too happy with giving up the first goal, but we've only given up 3 goals tonight, so it's something that we're working hard on. So for the playoffs.
And this is your first year as the general manager of this team. What were the big changes you wanted to implement in your first season here with the club?
Well, sitting here with you last year and looking at it, the biggest thing I saw was a chemistry problem between the whole team. I think that there were guys that were detached from the team. There were, some selfish players. There were some guys that wanted to just do their own thing. And not that we, got rid of those guys, because we still have a lot of the same guys, but I think it was just a mentality of, what we can do as a team and, what our goal is. And our goal has always been, this year, a championship.
And a great save from Pardo to spare the blushes of the Sockers defense, who gave that ball away in the back. I've talked to a lot of these guys, and they said this is some of the most fun that they've been having this season. So I think the chemistry issue has certainly been fixed.
Yeah, and then it comes down to, one is chemistry, and I think we fixed that. And the second thing is it comes down to playing better soccer. And I think last year there were times when we played well and times when we didn't. This year, for the most part, we've been playing some very good soccer. But as you see, there's little mistakes that we make that we just have to get better. And guys are practicing harder, and we're just trying to get better every game. And if guys try to get better every game, we're going to get better going into the playoffs.
And the Sockers have been on an excellent run. That hiccup at Solis de Sonora was, in a lot of ways, obviously not on the field, but considered a victory for the adversity that they faced, having to travel and play that morning after playing that night, and still did such a great job to bring that match to overtime and almost win it as well. So, this is a team that really feels that they have the credentials to go on and win the title. But you talk about the focus, a lot of these players saying we still have a lot of stuff we have to clean up. So it seems that they're very focused on the task at hand, which is getting beyond that Pacific Division final and going on and winning a 15th title.
Yeah, I think over the last 2 or 3 years, just seeing it from this perspective, I think that we've had a good enough team to be a top 3 or 4 team in the league, but I don't think we've been good enough to be the championship team. This year, with our focus, with changing some things, doing things the right way, we're focused enough to make a run at the championship. And then, as you know, in championship, you have to be good, you have to be lucky, but you'll always have to be together as a team. And I think that that's something that we've been preaching, and the guys have really, really done well with that.
And you're a former Defender of the Year in this league, as well as being a former San Diego Sockers player. What aspects of that culture from the time you've played have you wanted to bring back, not only to the front office and the field, but to these fans as well?
Well, I think the number one thing is just having everybody care. I'm one of those people that no matter what I'm doing, I care sometimes too much. And so the job that I took here is I'm putting everything into it, my heart, my soul, playing for the franchise, winning a championship with the franchise. And so I'm demanding that from the players, from the coaching staff, from the fans, from the office staff. And I think that goes a long way. And I think that, I've been part of championship teams where we have definitely not been the best team in the league or the best team in the finals, but our heart is what won it. And our team this year has a great combination of veterans, young players, experienced players, guys that have won championships, guys that haven't won championships. So this is a great mix. We just need to put it all together, and I think we're getting there. I think that we're 85%. We do need to clean some things up, but we've been better on our power play down tonight. We've been cleaning up our power play for. So little things like that, paying attention to detail makes a huge difference.
How happy are you with 3 for 4 on the night on the power play?
I mean, that's, if we could go 3 for 4, we might win that game in Sonora. In Sonora in overtime, we have a power play, and we don't score, and they, obviously they do.
And here's Farber coming in one-on-one. Farber deserves his goal, and he gets it. 1:41 remaining. The Sockers hit 10. I was just about to ask you, when the Sockers were struggling early on, it was Farber who came on, won that foul with his speed, his hustle, and his technique, and he was really the catalyst for this revival early in the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm a big believer that I think that we're very, very strong in the back, and obviously we have one of the all-time greatest goal scorers, and we're very good up front. But I really think that we can outdistance ourselves from other teams in the midfield with having Farber in there, having Eddie in there, having Serta, who I think has played phenomenal. I think we have the best midfield in the league, having Brandon in there and adding some things. So if we have all of that, I think it's hard for teams to match up with us, and you can't match up with pace. And when you have someone like Max and Farber running at people, it's just something you can't defend it.
A former San Diego Sockers defender, my former broadcast partner, and now San Diego Sockers general manager, Sean Bowers. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thanks, bud.
Sockers on their way to their 13th victory of the season. Correction, their 12th. 1 minute and 15 seconds away, and a 7-goal lead over the El Paso Coyotes. Nate Abarea joining us again. And Nate, how about that goal from Brian Farber?
Not bad. We're talking about Farber's potential on the breakaways.
2-on-1 could be developing here if they hurry, but Matt Clare with a tremendous effort to get back, and he's going to be whistled for the foul. Gotta love that hustle, though. You're up by 7, less than a minute left in the game, and you're still sprinting back to try and get in front of the ball.
Well,
and a worrying sign is there's a Sockers player down behind the logo in midfield.
see who this is down there.
And I believe it's Eduardo Velez, El Vaquero, who missed so much of the season after getting injured on opening night. Injured himself scoring his second goal against Turlock all the way back on October 29th. Came back toward the end of January. He got his first goal since returning against El Paso last week. Oh, correction, it was against Solis de Sonora, but still you hope that El Vaquero is okay because he's going to be such an important player down the stretch and into the playoffs. As Vidal goes for the curler and pushing it away was Boris Pardo. Final 40 seconds from the Valley View Casino Center. San Diego will improve to 12-5, including 8-1 at home, as the Valley View Casino Center has been a fortress this season. El Paso will drop to 0-16. But like Phil Salvaggio said, we believe this is a team that will get its first franchise victory before the end of this season. They've certainly shown flashes of brilliance tonight. Just like that, unable to apply the finish was Cochui. And a save from Pardo to end it. San Diego holds El Paso to just 3 goals, scoring 10 in the process. And they remain at the top of the Pacific Division, now 12-5 on the season. Final thoughts, Nate Abarea.
Well, no playoff clinch for the Sockers this evening with the way that game went between Ontario and Tacoma, but the Sockers taking care of all that they can take care of. A fantastic win in the end of it. Great early going for El Paso, still in hunt of that first win in franchise history. Fantastic effort early on in this game, but the class of the Sockers showed as this game progressed, and they end up with the 10-3 victory.
Well, the good news for El Paso is they'll be right back at it tomorrow night at Turlock, and you can see that match right here on MASL's YouTube channel. The Sockers, meanwhile, will have 9 days off before a doubleheader, the 25th at Solis de Sonora, and then the 26th, Nate and I will be back with you for the regular season home finale for the San Diego Sockers. But for now, for everyone at the San Diego Sockers, for our wonderful producers, Dave Evenson and Ross Callan, and my broadcast partner, Nate Abarea, I'm Mark Serber, signing off from the Valley View Casino Center, where it finishes the San Diego Sockers 10, the El Paso Coyotes 3.
Hi, thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us, and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a Cal Coast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at Cal Close my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what Cal Coast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors,
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
a good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.